Good evening. This regular meeting of November 10th, 2025 of the Dubuque Community School District Board of Education is called to order. Our mission is to develop world-class learners and citizens of character in a safe and inclusive learning community. Roll call, please.
Bradley,
Here.
Hamel,
Here.
Jacobitz Kazire,
Here.
Jones,
Here.
Parks,
Here.
Sancy,
Here.
Whitman.
All right. We're happy to welcome students from Kennedy Elementary to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
My name is Brett Bradley, and I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Spencer Kafer and I'm in 5th grade.
My name's Ruby Forth and I'm in 5th grade.
My name's Evelyn Harvey, I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Hadley Palmer and I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Evan Sell and I'm in 4th grade.
My name is Oliver Baggett and I'm in 5th grade.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Job.
I move that the Board of Education approve the agenda as submitted.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the agenda as submitted. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education approve the minutes of the regular meeting of October 13th, 2025, the special meeting of October 27th, and the special meeting of November 3rd, 2025 as submitted.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the minutes of the regular meeting of October 13th, 2025, the special meeting of October 27th, and the special meeting of November 3rd, 2025 as submitted. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
Great.
I move that the Board of Education, no, I bet I'm premature.
No, you're not.
Right.
You're right
How
on
about then
time.
I move the Board of Education suspend the rules of order and go into open forum.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education suspend the rules of order and go into open forum. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. So first, we're going to be hearing from Andy Peterson, who's the principal at Kennedy Elementary School, to tell us what's going well.
Usually I have like a little bit of time.
I know.
All right, thanks everybody for inviting Kennedy this month. As you know, I just started at Kennedy this fall and it has been a really busy fall already. I'm really proud of the things that are on this list. If you flip it over, there's a couple pictures on there as well of some of the things that we've been able to do and get started this fall. We had our walkathon fundraiser just a little bit earlier in October, raised $33,000. A big part of that will go to the outdoor classroom project that Mr. Hatcher started last year. We're able to get concrete poured in the back. It's going to be fully accessible coming out of the kindergarten doors and lining up with our normal sidewalks that we have there already. So we're really excited about that. We're hoping to get the shade structure installed this spring, and then next year we'll work on phase 3, which is the furniture for that space. With the walkathon, it's a Kennedy tradition to be able to slime Mr. Peterson if you're the class that raises the most money. So Mrs. Harvey's kindergarten class was that class this year. And kind of carrying over something I did at Carver, we had a $30,000 goal, and if we met that goal, Mr. Peterson spent a night on the roof at Kennedy. So
And how was that?
it was nice.
Was it?
I slept really good. Slept really good. As I shared with the outdoor classroom, we've got that poured. DCSD Buildings and Grounds were awesome to work with, as was Valentine Construction. I shared about the sidewalks. I guess I skipped ahead on that one already. The other thing that we're going to have back in that area is a micro prairie. We have a family who the mother is employed with Dubuque County Conservation, and she's going to come in and help us install a pocket prairie back there. We've got the mulch in that area right now, and she put the limestone pavers in there also. The mulch will help kill the grass, and then next year she'll drill all of the grasses and plants in, and that's going to be awesome right there by our outdoor classroom as well. This year we did playground nights for every grade. And one of the reasons that we did that this fall was just with all the students coming from different buildings, me being new to Kennedy as well. It was kind of like an open house for each grade outside. We asked teachers to come and attend those as well. We had perfect fall nights for every one of them. And you can see those were pretty well attended there as well. So that was a good success for us. 97% of our families attended conferences. Super pumped about that. Still looking at teacher and family survey data, but overall, I think very positive. We started a monthly assembly program this year with positive office referrals. So if you're doing great things around the building, living the Mustang motto, you might receive a positive office referral. If you get a positive office referral, you're coming to the office. Our office ladies are going to greet you. They're going to get excited. They're going to show you some enthusiasm. Reinforce that great behavior. They're going to put a sticker on you so that everybody else is going to ask you, why did you get a positive office referral? And then they get to take that home that day from mom and dad. Then at the end of the month, we'll come together and we recognize all of those kids at the assembly and again, talk about the great things that they've been doing. Let's see. We have learned a lot this fall about the connections that we need to make for families and just how that's changed a little bit from last year to this year. We've worked extensively with RTA. We've worked extensively with arrival schedules, dismissal schedules that were not a part of kind of the Kennedy equation last year. And that's been a great learning experience for everyone. We've worked extensively with Dora, who has been fantastic to line up interpreters to make sure that we can have meaningful conversations with families. And it's just been not that we didn't have that to some degree, but it's been a much larger degree this year, and it's been a great learning experience for all of us. If you get the opportunity to come into Kennedy as well, we have really celebrated that this year. And like at Senior and Hempstead, there are some flag displays in the entryways of those buildings to represent the countries that kids come to us from. We have that going at Kennedy right now as well, and I'm really proud of that. As far as our professional development, we've tackled a lot of things so far. We're working deep in CLCs, talking about our ELML students, working on our classroom management, the way that we make decisions about behavior. And next up, we'll be working on some common form of assessment within math, and then also looking at behavioral interventions and how we're going to use that data. And finally, this year, and I just found out about 2 weeks ago, this is the 60th anniversary of Kennedy Elementary School. Kennedy was opened on November 29th, 1965. And on December 5th, we're going to invite as many retired teachers from Kennedy as we can in for a breakfast, give those teachers a tour, let them be around our students, and then invite them to our monthly assembly for that month as well. So, a little bit of what we've been working on. Any questions?
I do got one. I just got to ask. So the rooftop? So what was the thought process with that right there? I'm just really curious about that one.
It's just think it's outrageous. I don't know. I just think it's funny. It's fun. I did it at Carver a couple of times, and they got excited about it again at Kennedy, so I did it again. It doesn't bother me that much either, so.
Do we
they get
have
excited.
proof?
What's that?
Do we have proof?
From Facebook.
I did see some social media and
Yep.
did not understand what was going on. So it's good
That's what
to
it
have
was.
this context.
That's what it was.
And which roof is better? Let's ask that question.
Well, it depends on the night, right?
Okay.
So at Carver, you can really get out of the wind. Kennedy's a little bit different. It's more of a flat surface, but I was able to get back by the gym and block some of that wind. It matters.
Well, we got a new sheriff in town, just in case you want something
I
done.
know, right? Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, Andy.
All right, so anyone else who wishes to address the board may do so at this time. We ask that you come to the podium, state your full name, your connection to the district, and that you limit your remarks to 3 minutes using our handy timer. And keep in mind that the board can't respond to what you say, but we are listening to your remarks.
Hearing none, I move that the Board of Education reinstate the rules of order and return to regular session.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education reinstate the rules of order and return to regular session. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. So that brings us to board salutes section of the agenda, and I'm going to hand it over first to Mr. Brian Cool.
Good evening. Every year, we choose a Teacher of the Year with the help of our DEA. And for the 2025 Teacher of the Year is Kelly Eigenberger. And on her behalf, her building principal, Dr. Megan Elsinger, is going to come up and tell us a little bit about Kelly as they both come forward here. And Megan will give you a little more detail than I could provide.
Good evening, and thanks for having us. On behalf of Lincoln students, families, and staff, I want to give heartfelt congratulations to Kelly Eigenberger, who is an incredibly deserving recipient of the Dubuque Community Schools Teacher of the Year. Kelly is one of the most dedicated teachers that I've been fortunate enough to know. She also hates recognition, so this is really hard for her. She takes absolute accountability for the learning of each of her students. She doesn't just teach, she ensures learning. Kelly maintains an unwavering belief that every student in her classroom can achieve proficiency, paired with a confidence of skill that her and her team can get them there. Kelly is a generous colleague who deeply values collaboration. Kelly greatly values her fourth grade team, and together they exemplify collective efficacy. But Kelly's collaboration doesn't just stop with her team, it extends across our building. Kelly is generous with her practice, always willing to model a new strategy or lesson, not because she thinks it's perfect, but because she craves feedback and the consistency to always improve. She models continuous learning, and her colleagues and her students benefit from it. Through her dedication to continuous improvement, commitment to ensuring access and achievement for each student that she serves, Kelly inspires each of us and makes her a very extraordinary educator and very deserving of this honor. So congratulations to Kelly. Our pride is proud of you.
Excuse me.
You didn't get that?
Yeah.
On behalf of the school district, congratulations.
Not be sitting in the background.
We have lots of fun things to celebrate tonight, so that's always a good thing. I'm wondering if Megan Richardson's in the room, if she could maybe come forward.
I see her
You see her?
With the hair.
with her hair.
Didn't sleep on the
as,
roof,
as
but
we
dyed her
talk
hair.
about goals for fundraisers, she made a goal that she was going to make her hair look like a unicorn, and I think she's done a really good job of that. The student. Yeah. Okay. So, really, tonight we're up here to congratulate Megan and the Bryant community for their award of being a Blue Ribbon School for the 2025 year. As you know, we've had a National Blue Ribbon School Award that's been around for about 40 years. Actually, Bryant won that award one other time in 2007, which is unbelievable. And we found out that there's only been 14 schools, I'm sorry, in that 40 years that have repeated that award. So what a great, group that you're with. That's amazing. So this year in the fall, we actually found out that the National Blue Ribbon School was going to end. They were not going to continue that at the federal level. And thankfully, our state, the state of Iowa, wanted to continue to recognize schools that qualified as Blue Ribbon schools. And so we were honored a few weeks ago that we got to go down to Des Moines, and with our governor and her cabinet, we were able to receive the Blue Ribbon School Award for our behalf of Bryant. And so Megan had an opportunity to give a little speech on behalf of the Bryant community And we were able to celebrate the Bryant community with an assembly that Monday when we returned back. So we got little blue ribbons and kids did the wave and they were really excited. But she really pointed out that it's about student achievement and students working really hard to reach those those goals that they set out to reach. But it's also about the staff and how passionate the staff is and how willing they are to do professional development and to work with each and every student, meet them where they're at, and then see where their growth goes from there. And so Megan has been very open about really celebrating all of those things that go into her school culture. So Megan, on behalf of the school board and myself and the school district, congratulations on being a big Blue Ribbon School. We're gonna come out, yep, and you're gonna present that to Kate.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I also have a banner that will go in our gym, and we got a declaration that they signed, because it was the first inaugural one for the state of Iowa. We haven't had that framed yet, so we have
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah, so there you go. Okay, so congratulations.
you.
Yeah.
I won't spill water on it. Okay.
Okay, the next recognition we get to do is I need our good friend Mike Size to come forward. So most people in the room probably know that this is Mike Size, and Mike Size is our Chief Communication Officer for the district. And this is a job that, you know, is I think sometimes people don't realize the importance of this job. You know, Mike does a lot of things behind the scenes as things come up during the school day. Somebody might call him and say, Mike, I need a little, you know, something to be sent home to parents. And Mike's there to support that. When we talk about our website, when we talk about distributing of materials, when we look at the things that happened for the school bond, that was really Mike and his team. And so during this crazy time in the fall when we were going for the bond referendum, I thought it was really important that we nominate Mike to recognize him for all the wonderful things he does for our district, to have us come across, you know, just with our community and let the community know that we're being transparent and that we're trying to have open lines of communication. And I think he does a really, really good job of that. So this year, Mike has been named the Iowa School Public Relations Communicator of the Year for the state of Iowa. I actually had the privilege of surprising Mike at the award ceremony, and he didn't know he was getting that award, so that was pretty awesome. But you know, one way that I would describe Mike is, you know, I said it there that he's a total rock star. You know, when we need something, Mike's there. If we get something in the middle of the night, Mike's got it. He's on the phone. We're communicating. We're figuring out how to be solution focused. Mike is somebody that really has a lot of pride in his job, and he loves the school district. And he will do whatever it takes to make sure that we can be transparent and open and communicating with our community as a whole. And so, Mike, you're somebody that, you know, I think your colleagues in Des Moines said, you elevate us to be better, you know, and I know he really values the colleagues that he works with all the time, but they really value him, and he gets calls all the time like, hey, what should I do about, you know, and I appreciate that. So, Mike, I'm just really honored tonight to honor you with the Iowa Communicator of the Year Award, and now he will be entered into, he'll be going to the national convention here in July, and will be up for National School Communicator of the Year. So we wish you the best of luck, okay? So thanks, Mike.
I thought I was gonna just do a selfie. That'd be good.
So this is the award that you received. So it's really heavy, and you know that, so I'm gonna let you have that. And then this is just something for from the district to say thanks, and we don't want you to forget this ever. Yeah, it's quite an honor, so there you go. Kate, you wanna come take a picture? Mike's a great communicator until it's about himself. Right? Thanks. Did you want to say anything?
No,
Yeah, I think that.
you can't have the communicator come up and not say anything. So I just would really like to say, one, I'm humbled and honored to receive this award. As Amy said, I work with some amazing people across the state. But this is a shared award with the amazing team that I work with every day. Trisha and Renee and Michael and Lucas and Kelsey and Nancy and the whole team. This is a team effort, and I work with the best of the best. So it's easy for me to stand up here, but they make the magic happen every day, and I'm so honored to work with them. And then I would just like to say thank you to the board and to Amy. I was looking at the calendar here before this, and this is, I'm in 13 and a half years right now, and there was never really anybody in this role before I was. And it's a testament to the board and to Amy and the superintendents and Stan before that, who put communication at the table every time. I can tell you my colleagues across the state do not enjoy that all the time. So I'm honored to work for a board and a school district and a superintendent who value communication, and thank you for that support.
Yeah.
Well, I also want to just add a thanks to Mike because he's been an incredible resource for all of us and a mentor as well to help us with our communication and in all kinds of ways. So well-deserved, and thank you, Mike.
The next conversation that I just want to have is, we lost one of our dear friends and board members this week with Tammy Ryan. And Tammy was a board member with us for 12 years. She served as a board member, as vice president, and I believe she was president for maybe 8 of those 12 years. It was quite some time. And Elizabeth had called me. She was doing an article about Tammy, and the one thing I said about Tammy is she was somebody that always listened so well to the community, and she really gathered feedback well, but she also was a huge supporter of our district. And she loved this place. She was so proud to get our high schools renovated and up to date, and she will be greatly missed. So I just want to make sure that we, show her remembrance for Tammy and all the things that she did, not only for our district, but for this community as a whole. So, Anderson?
Yeah, I try to tell myself not to get emotional when this topic came up, so excuse me in advance. When I got the just a call that it happened, I was in awe. My heart was broken like many of us up here. And it just got emotional, especially when I was able to talk to her family. But since we are celebrating, there's 2 stories that really highlights who Tammy was for many of us, especially me. I remember there being a tough board meeting one day, and I think sometimes people think we always get along on every single topic, but that's not always the case. And there was a situation where after a meeting, I was very disappointed and I, left. And the first person who called me was Tammy. And we had a whole conversation on the way going home. And from that moment, care was something that really stood out for me about Tammy. She is truly someone who cares about all of us and will find various ways to connect with each and every single one of us. If it's a text message, an email, or just showing up, she cared. And then number 2, I remember just a few weeks ago actually seeing Tammy at a restaurant and me being able to, go up to her and give her a big hug and just reminisce and talk about life. And one of the things about Tammy that her and I had a strong connection is with faith. And usually I say I don't push my faith on anyone else, but Tammy and I shared a similar faith. And, talking to her parents, that is what keeps them very hopeful right now is faith, knowing that she's in a better place. And so super thankful for the service that Tammy provided to the district, but I think I can speak up for all of us when I say we're so thankful for the friendship that we created with her in our own ways. So I know she's just want us to do best for the district, and so we're going to be laser focused on that. So to her family, we send our prayers, our love, and our hearts to them right now as they are processing what's going on, and just a lot of love. So thanks for this opportunity to say something about her.
Thank you, Anderson. I've been thinking about her a lot and the impact that she had on this board and on this district, and just her unwavering commitment. I think we mentioned when she stepped down from office that she had not missed a single school board meeting, which is just incredible. Like, it's such a testament to who she was and how much she cared about this place. And, I always appreciated that even though she and I were sometimes not on the same sides of issues, and we definitely disagreed from time to time, that she always stood up for what she believed in. She always said it. She wasn't afraid to say her thoughts. And even when we didn't see eye to eye on something, I did always know she had my support, or that she had my support. She supported me, is what I'm trying to say. Mike's size communication's fumbling right now. But, I would get texts from her saying, like, you did a really good job handling that, even when we weren't on the same side of an issue, which I think, just showed me what a strong leader she was, and helped me be a strong leader as well as board president. And so I'm going to miss that we won't have Tammy as this resource of information and advice and all kinds of things, and echo what Anderson shared, just sending so much love and thoughts to her family during this time. But want to really thank her and remember her for the work that she did, and how much she kept us focused on staying out of the weeds and putting kids first. And that was what it was about, and we'll take that forward with us.
That's great. Thanks, Kate.
Thank you.
All right, let's see. I move that the Board of Education approve those items listed in the consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve those items listed in the consent agenda. Superintendent Hawkins, are we saying something about the grounds manager here? Or were we not doing that? Sorry, I might be throwing things up that we weren't expecting.
Okay, I could totally say that. So, Mark Lang, who's sitting at probably one of his first board meetings as official, right? Mark is our new buildings and grounds manager. And so he's been with our district in different roles throughout his career, but is officially become the manager of buildings and grounds as of this last Monday. So Mark, we welcome you to our team, and are excited to move forward with your new position.
Thank you, Mark.
I'd like to jump in and add a thanks to Bill Burkhardt.
Oh, yeah.
Who, when we suddenly found ourselves needing someone to step in who knew immediately what to do and how to do it, Bill, thank you. You said yes, and you were on the job, and you sustained us through a time that could have been less positive had you not stepped in. So thank you. We appreciate it.
Very much. Any other item a board member wishes to pull? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. All right, that brings us to our Facilities and Support Services Committee report from Mr. Hamel.
Thank you. The committee meeting last week was a little shorter than it usually was. We had an update on all the district construction projects, and things are going well. No big news there. Concerning the Irving Mechanical Upgrade Project, there have been a number of small additions to the project, and there's been some subtractions, but the net of all that is there's going to be a change order for an additional $72,500. We also got a report on the 2024 Internal Control Policies and Procedures Report, which doesn't necessarily sound exciting, but there's a lot of stuff in there. So the the district had to go through 26 different very detailed categories to make sure the money and the assets are all being handled correctly. And I'm just going to pull out a couple. For instance, a lot of the insurance premiums of the district are based on how many people you have and how much they're getting paid. And so the staff has to go through all the payrolls and employment histories and make sure that the actual premiums we're getting charged matches our numbers. All the W-4s for new employees get checked against the Social Security has a website to make sure everyone's eligible to work. And it goes on and on with that level of detail, and everything checked out, which is fantastic. So I have two motions. First, I move that the Board of Education approve change order number 2 to Conlon Construction Company on the Irving Mechanical Upgrade Project in the increased amount of $72,425.29.
Second. It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve change order number 2 to Conlon Construction Company on the Irving Mechanical Upgrades Project in the increased amount of $72,425.29. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
I also move that the Board of Education approve the 2024-2025 Internal Control Policies and Procedures Report.
Second. It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the 2024-2025 Internal Control Policies and Procedures Report. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion also carries. Thank you, Mr. Hamel. So we have an Educational Programs Committee report from Ms. Jones.
Thank you. On this past Wednesday night, we heard first from senior principal at senior high school, Brian House. He updated us on the new cell phone policy and how that implementation has gone so far this year. It sounds like things are going really well at both high schools, that the amount of devices that they're having to confiscate each day has reduced by half since the start of the school year. And both schools are reporting grades are starting to improve, as well as louder hallways and cafeterias, which is always good. Kids are interacting and socializing, just like the good old days. So there will be a cell phone committee update of the task force that had worked on that policy, and that'll be on November 19th. So we look forward to any updates from that. Next, we heard from Lisa Feltes and the principal from Bryant Elementary, who was here earlier, Megan Richardson. She spoke to us about the inaugural Iowa Blue Ribbon designation that Bryant Elementary School received and all the hard work that went into it. The state officials praised the school's emphasis on evidence-based literacy instruction and the recent growth in students' language arts proficiency rates at the school. So congratulations again to all of them. After that, Lisa Feltes also presented details on a recent grant that the district has received. The grant is a $619,679 grant that will be used to develop and implement local plans for accelerating student reading proficiency. That grant does cover birth to 12th grade and will span over 5 years that we will continue to receive the money for that to help support evidence-based literacy practices and help close achievement gaps in the Dubuque Community School District. And Super Hawkins, that is what you should go by.
Okay, sounds good.
I like that. Superintendent Hawkins shared the draft for the school calendars for 2026-2027 and the 2027-2028 school years. The calendars will be shared on the district website for families and staffs to share their feedback prior to making an official vote next month. And that's already up on the website, correct?
It is, yeah.
Okay. And lastly, we discussed the ballot for the Keystone Area Education Board of Directors. One of our directors is Nancy Bradley here in District Number 5 and Cindy Steffes in District Number 4, which we will be voting on tonight to move them forward. So thanks for your service for that board as well. Our next meeting is December 3rd, 2025, and that's right back here at 4 p.m. So we invite everybody to join us. And then I have one motion. I move that the Board of Education authorize the board secretary to cast ballots for Keystone AEA Board of Directors Cindy Steffens, District 4, and Nancy Bradley, District 5.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education authorize the board secretary to cast ballots for Keystone AEA Board of Directors, Cindy Steffens, District 4, and Nancy Bradley, District 5. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Back on the board, Nancy.
Thank you. Well, thanks to the board for support. I appreciate it. It's a great honor to serve both boards. The Dubuque Community School District Board, it certainly functions within the zone of the district. Keystone Area Education Agency serves the whole portion of Northeast Iowa. So it's very interesting. I've learned a lot about smaller districts, about the experiences of different sized districts, and certainly the interactions within the last couple of years about the AEA system at the state legislative levels. So it takes the same world of education and it provides a different lens into it, which is very good. So thank you for your support.
Thank you. All right, that brings us to new business.
I move the Board of Education set the date, time, and place for public hearing on the proposed 2026, 27, and 2027, 28 school calendars as December 8th, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. at the Forum.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education set the date, time, and place for public hearing on the proposed 2026, 27, and 2027, 28 school calendars is December 8th, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. at the Forum. Is there any discussion?
I really just want to encourage the community as you go. We've traditionally set calendars for 2 years in a row to try to give families a heads up of when our breaks will be and things like that. But I encourage people to go on our website, look at the calendars, and then to give us feedback before we go and approve those.
Is there a place right on the website, Amy?
Yeah, there's a
people
place
to
for
get
comments
feedback?
right on
Great.
there. Yep.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. All right, that brings us to board member or administrative issues.
If it's okay, I would just like to say a little something. This last week was a tough week for the district. We had put a lot of time and energy and supports in place as we put together our best plan to move forward with the district from consolidating from the 3 to 2 middle schools. And unfortunately, that did not pass. 56% of our community, which is over a majority, thought that this was a good plan and this was going to be a good move for our district moving forward. And unfortunately, the law says that we need 60% of our community to vote yes for it to move forward. And I think that it's important for our community to know that, this district is going to continue to work hard for kids. We're going to continue to put kids at the center and at the forefront. But knowing where we're going to be financially, this wasn't just about closing buildings or trying to move kids to one place or another. It was really about the district making efficiencies, because we know 3 years from now, we're going to be we could really be in a world of hurt financially, especially if the state continues to give us low SSA, state supplemental aid. And, it's been around 2%. And, not knowing where that's going to be this year, that's going to really sway in our decisions. And though we are very transparent and we want our community's input And we went out and we talked to the community. We did that for 2 years. We listened, we had events, we had things people came to. People came and told us their thoughts, and we made adjustments as we went. And we had a big group of people this year that came from, kind of out of nowhere and said, I don't like this. And unfortunately, that was just too late for us to say we didn't like it, because that wasn't the option that was on the ballot. And so we're gonna work really hard to go back to the drawing board and to look at what's best for our district moving forward. And how do we do that? Again, looking out for what's best for kids. And we're gonna bring our community involved into those conversations and to get feedback. But unfortunately, some of that feedback might not be able to be taken just because we have to look at where we are financially. And I think the community doesn't understand financially what this means for our district. And that makes me really sad and disappointed, because our community needs public education. We need a strong school system so that we can have students graduate and either go into the workforce or go into college. And Dubuque needs our kids to stay in our community, because our community needs our kids. We need, as we look at, my husband and I say, we're gonna need people to take care of us someday. And, we know that, many people love this community and they wanna come back and they wanna live in this community. I mean, I love this place. And it just breaks my heart that, we're in a financial situation that we are, and yet we put a plan out there, and part of our community still didn't believe us. They didn't think we were being transparent. And the reality is, come to our facility meetings. We talk about every penny we spend. We talk about everything that we do. Everybody knows every dollar, every curriculum, everything we do is talked about at those meetings. Yet, part of our community didn't want to listen. We tried to engage, and they said, you don't have it right. You don't know you don't know what's best for this community. And that just breaks my heart. So I just want this community to know that we are gonna continue to fight, and we're gonna do everything we can to do best by kids, yet keeping the district in a financial position that we can keep moving forward, because we still have to pay our staff. And we know that our people are our most important piece of this organization. Great people make our students successful. And we need to be able to pay them, and we want them to stay in our community and keep working for us. So I just ask that as we move forward, if the community wants to get engaged, please get engaged at the beginning, not at the end. And let's go forward supporting our students and our community together. Thanks.
Yeah, if I can jump in, so many text messages, congratulations, Nancy Anderson getting on the board, and I just said, but the bond. I felt like, even for me personally, that, oh shoot, I lost. I didn't win a race, I lost because of the bond, the outcome. But then I was reminded through my wife that, Anderson, don't forget the process. For those of us who are very competitive, we think about winning and losing, and not often do we think about the process, everything, the hard work that you put up to that point. That was the beauty. And I want to say kudos to you and the entire team for the process that you guys put together to make sure that we engaged so many people. A lot of us went out and saw the various ways that you communicated with a variety of people, even being in people's homes. And so that process itself, we cannot miss that as we're transitioning to what's next, that we will continue to have a good process that brings people along, right? As you said in the beginning, we want to try to engage people. We want to try to give people the facts, the data, and to the board. This is where leadership comes in, During dark times, this is when we step up and we stay united. Again, like the pandemic, we may not agree on everything behind the scenes, but up front, we have to be unified and do what's best for kids. And so I want to encourage all of you to lock arms, lock minds, be open to whatever that's out there that's going to allow us to make that best decisions and support our superintendent and our staff moving forward. Because again, during dark times is when leaders step up, you know, and we're going to step up, each and every single one of us. I believe in that. We believe in you, Amy, and this district. That will never change.
I'd like to join in saying a thank you. Amy, I don't think anybody could realize how much you, Mike Size, the Vote Yes Committee put into actual transparency, factual information at every turn, and yet we know with 60,000 plus folks trying to receive information, not everybody got it. And yet it was available in so many ways. So that's the challenge of, one of the challenges of communication, I think. But thank you for the incredible effort. You have to be wiped out. You were going day and night, and Mike, you were as well. And I heard both your presentations and I heard the Vote Yes Committee, one of their presentations. The information was succinct, on point. To challenge the information that was brought forward, to me, was the hardest part. That every attempt had been made to have correct numbers, correct planning, correct communication, and yet it still did not reach the supermajority. In this economic time, I think it would be very difficult to meet a 60% majority. And yet, we know that communities around us did. And so I know, as a lifer in Dubuque and a very long-term educator in Dubuque, this community values education. It values it at a level where it's willing to partner with its schools and to do most right by kids. So the crushing blow of this, for me as a board member, is that in not gaining the efficiencies that were on the ballot, by the money, $2 to $2.5 million per year that would be saved by the consolidation of 3 to 2 middle schools, we now have to make that money up in some other way. And as I said to several groups when I was talking before the election, it really comes down to, where can a school district save money? It's people, it's programs, it's buildings. And so we had chosen the path of efficiencies through facilities, through buildings. And when that did not succeed sufficiently to a 60% level, we're now left with some incredibly undesirable choices to be made in the other categories. So as we look at class sizes, we look at buildings that are open or will not be open, some of the kinds of decisions represented in what we'll have to talk about going forward will not be popular decisions. As a board, we will look like, Amy, you as a superintendent will look like, we don't really mean what we say about caring for kids, but the fact is we do. The 12-year deficit of funding to public education in Iowa has a cumulative effect of putting us in the most difficult financial situation in my 100 years of working around this. And we will have a balanced budget. We will make efficiency decisions that will keep us financially solvent and responsible. But they'll be unpopular decisions. And I think not to blame those who did not support the bond referendum, but to explain the basis for what we need to do going forward. It lies in that. So again, my thanks is to you and to Mike and the Yes Committee for incredibly hard and skillful work. It was work well done, so thank you.
Thanks, Nancy.
Well said, colleagues. We're fortunate. We have, what are we calling her? Super Hawkins.
Yeah, Hawkins, yes.
At the head of our district, leading the way, because, you know, despite what's ahead, I know we have a very strong board and an incredible superintendent and amazing staff and Blue Ribbon School. Like, we have a lot of fantastic things, and we'll figure it out together. And it won't always be easy, but we'll do our best to always keep the kids first, so.
Yep, well said.
Okay, well, our next board meeting is December 8th, 2025. We'll welcome a new board member at that time and say goodbye to a board member at that time, so stay tuned for that. And until then, we are adjourned.